Alright, so this is Par v Mango from today. Actually, let me ask Naomi if she wants to do it right now. I don't think she's up though. So it's probably a no. It'd be fun to do it with some other people though, and like kind of talk about it a little bit more, because it doesn't affect us because we're in NA. Get some supple, get some dropouts in. So he's doing 350 or 360 focus with 350 con. So pretty standard healer setup. You know he has featherweight, so he's trying to increase survivability. He's not going for CDR. NA likes to go for CDR. They don't like to go for survivability as much. And then you get some like weird gear here that you can get like as cheap bits, which is kind of a nice compliment. This is Season's Amulet. So he has Magnify on a lot of his stuff, but it should be fine. Doesn't have his cleanse pot in the bar? I think he just forgot. Oh, he does have comms. Let me turn me down a little bit. Oh, I didn't turn on browser comms. There we go. Yeah, you should be able to hear it now.
Sacred on couch.
It's a little quiet.
There's still not a point on B, right? Like, there's no point on B. I'm just gonna go and help somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's a pretty wide wrap early. And they're doing the immediate C split. This is what Supple does versus us all the time too. Immediate C split just seems to be best from the attacker strat at the current moment, or at least it's meta.
We need the full rotation.
I don't know why he didn't put his coin spot on bar. He's kind of trolling right now. He bought it too. He just forgot to put it on.
Straight to the left side.
Sacred left side point.
I didn't understand that initial push. So what they're doing here is they come out main early. Sorry, I skipped over this because it's standard to me. But from an attacker standpoint, you come out main early and then you rotate off. The reason why I come out main early is because the defenders taste out. They'll drop a shower here, and then like basically once the defenders commit, then you just go. From an attacker standpoint. So they're just baiting.
Yeah, same. Sacred on couch.
There's still not a point on B, right? Like, there's no point on B. I'm just gonna go and help somewhere else.
Yeah.
I have to go on
They're gonna rotate.
And the other thing here that Supple's been doing, it's been a little bit different, is like most of the time when you do this early split, you send like 35 to 40 people. Supple's been disguising it recently, and then he'll do the split, and he'll send 25 to 30, and then he'll keep 15 here, and then you'll have another 5 that rotate off from A to B later on, so they end up with 20 people over here and like 30-ish over here, which is just harder to deal from a defensive standpoint, because you can't really tell right away from a defense. So as our default, like right now, we've been sending like roughly 35 to 40, and then we keep 2 groups. So we would keep 10, they send over, and then we had to rotate back and forth and ping pong, and that's usually what ends up with B getting capped early. Which is why this is like typically done, because it's like it's hard to tell how many people are going where. We do the same. Yeah. I think it's pretty common. It's the fastest way to get B and C right now. Is to early split to C. You basically get B guaranteed. It just takes some time, assuming your guys on C are able to live.
You guys by left.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab it. Grab one side. Yeah.
See how much that clap heals for though? It healed his entire group back up to full. It's kind of nuts. You can kind of, it's a little harder to see, but you can tell from the health bars over here. Clap is like such a big heal right now. So this is like the standard healer setup too. Like to go for clap, you go for Divine Embrace, I believe it's called, or Lights. No, it's Lights Embrace, and then you go Sacred. Put his Quint spot on bar. I'm not triggered anymore. And the VOD is being weird. Please load. This extension sometimes bugs out, but it's a way to see save VODs, which is nice. We're at 1648. Let me just give it a second, maybe. Nah, it's Divine Embrace. Okay. I don't know what the healer. I don't know what the healer abilities are really, to be honest. Like I just see them. Let me try pulling it again, because it's just being weird. Sometimes this fixes it. I don't know why people don't post their VODs when you can get it from this. Like to me, it's just like just post your VOD. Like it'll get seen no matter what. But I guess some people don't know about this extension. Okay. We go back. I think it was 16 something, 1640. Yeah.
I'm gonna follow you now to come to top.
Healing bird.
Yeah, we're good now.
You know?
That's on him.
Top one, top one.
Stay
Sacred top right.
The highlighted clip takes precedent, that's all. Oh, okay. Wait, your VOD is up? Oh. Okay, sick. Now I actually have volume controls and stuff. What's that extension? It is Twitch VOD downloader and viewer.
Healing pointer.
Bottom right is good. No problem.
Sacred bot right.
I have the same extension? Yeah. It's just good with Firefox, and I like Firefox because it's not Google, it's not Microsoft, and has a few other things. But it's just better for data security too.
That's on him.
Top one, top one. Sacred top right.
I don't know how you tell what's going on as a healer. Like I can barely see anything. 'Cause you got the health bars, but it's just this completely different view.
Yeah, I'm going.
We staying here, we staying here.
Yeah.
We can still crash B and save it.
Healing bird.
So they're trying to juggle right now. This is risky. If you lose the fight on B, this happened to us versus Supple. Like you basically just are almost guaranteed to lose. This is good movement. He's full HP before even having a clap. Clap's like a little excessive, but you get it back so fast that it's fine. This would have been a better time for it though. He needs to fight to single target. Cash.
Bot bank. Yeah, go.
My god, you are clap crutched right now. Only clapping. Just kidding. Yeah, so if they lose B here, they're in a really bad spot from a defense perspective. Like they've kind of overcommitted, in my opinion. You can see how much that ult is disrupting. Like, that's why some people are starting to run it in NA too. It just staggers so much. War heals are completely different than OPR heals, in my opinion. OPR, I can be next to my bruisers. War heals, you have to hang back. I mean, yeah, it's just because the war is more coordinated. OPR is just like people are running around trying to do things, but there's no like plan or anything. So he's autoing to try to heal people, not necessarily to get refreshing move procs, which is a little interesting, but I don't think that's like too different. I think it's normal. I trust Owen on how to play healer. I'm more interested in the macro.
Healing you again. Less heals right now, guys. Healing.
All these healers are stacked though, but I guess it doesn't matter because they aren't in the back line. One thing that Supple's been doing recently is they've been like pushing the side angle into back lines, because we just can't contest that and oppo super hard. They've been sneaking people in there, but I think the muskets kind of deal with that pretty well. Those muskets are defaulting to shooting point, and then if they don't, if there's someone in the back line, they'll shoot the back line. So they're basically long-range blunderbusses that are doing more peel
Sacred top side
and
point.
more damage with the
Top left.
kind of a
Yeah,
little bit
healing,
less
healing
burst
then.
combo potential. There's a 3-man dive going on in the back line. They're backing these healers up.
Boat eyes. I'm gonna cleanse you guys, boat eyes. Careful there.
Healing window.
Sacred
Sacred Lingding, right side.
Cutting
Mid
now.
right, you guys good?
I like the alt look.
What side is right, you boys?
My staff doesn't have refreshing move. Oh,
Sacred
okay.
Underberg.
Helsing get up all the time.
Sacred left side.
Healing bird.
Healing point death.
You got the
Healing
the
anything?
Omega clock heal life staff
Healing
then.
point death. Clapping.
People are still debating between that and NA.
Right left side.
This is all really good, but they're losing the ball fight.
Sacred bot left.
The kill squad's kind of getting wrapped all the way back, and they're getting pushed back, which makes it harder for point team to live.
Good clap.
Because once they get on the healers and are hitting the point at the same time, like the attackers, it just gets messy.
Sacred.
Sacred Lingding, top left.
Grab right side.
Nice free cast. I think it was a free cast.
He's out of blue.
Cutting.
I'm sold on this ult now on our backline. That just looks good. Or like in backlines, like that's just such good disruption.
Hey, five from left.
And you can play like a tank build with it too, because it doesn't matter what stats you have, it will do the same damage. So you can play a heavy disruptor, go into other teams' backlines, you're basically unkillable, and you can just prevent anyone from playing the game. And that's what they're doing. I think they're going flail with SNS, just doing heavy disruptor stuff, and then going
You
for
have
the
sacred
ult.
left side.
Yeah, receive.
Right up in space, right, just hold on.
Why life staffs are you debating using? Or what life staffs? I can go over that after, but I'm pretty sure it's just you go for a refreshing divine embrace. You go for a perk that it heals you for 33% extra if it cleanses something. I think it's purify, which will proc off a clap. And then the last perk is blessed. But the one that heals you extra is debated for refreshing.
I'm dead. I'm dead.
You need all mediums on point to try and save this.
So there's just like a good amount of disruption here while having pressure on the point, which just makes it very hard for people to live. And this disruption does not exist at all in NA. Like it looks so much easier. Like the kill spot looks so much more like, I guess, basic. Versus over here, you got a guy disrupting, here. This ult lasts a really long time. It's always knocking people down. You're not gonna be able to play the game as well.
I'm gonna go hit. I've got the.
Sacred point death.
Using the other team's cannon as cover, it's creative.
Yeah, I'm problem as well.
But this snowball basically started happening because they weren't able to get established because they tried to last contest B and were lost it. Like that's what it comes down to. It's like you really want to be giving B at 50 to 75%. You never want to take a risk on being on the back foot on C. Because C is like where you hold right now. It's not in fort, it's not B. It's like C is the easiest part to hold. Like they need to get a big wipe, and they've needed to get a big wipe for like 3 or 4 minutes, but haven't been able to converge. There's an opportunity here for a big wipe though. But while this wipe is happening, healers are disrupted, and they can't get off the single targets to help actually win that wipe, which is making it more difficult for Mingo. There's not really a good way to deal with heavy people in your backline right now, especially if they're running shirking heals. Like, the way you deal with it before is you go on the healer, but because of shirking heals and how, like, stupid it is on Disruptor, you can play a heavy Disruptor build, just go backline, and you're virtually unkillable. Having a bug with me. Wait. Yeah, I think it's a visual bug, but it's client side. Vital.
Never mind, actually, it's fine. I thought they were already moving, but they're not. Just gonna wait for them to come.
Clap heals through walls, which is why I was able to go for clap and fort, not really have any consequences. Like it just works.
Yeah, I'm chilling on A right now.
Gate is falling, and no one is inside with me.
I'm coming in, I'm coming in.
It's a lot of cleanse, but it should be enough cleanse to top you off for the rest of the war. Looks like there's enough assists going on. You're able to get a decent amount of cleanse. But this is definitely a roll from the attacker side so far.
I'm gonna go B.
They're coming B now, they're coming B now. Oh, I'm outside having a recharge, bro, I don't know.
I mean, do I drop down mid?
It's like very hard to stop a snowball in the current like metagame, I guess. So if the other team's able to get that establishment on a point early, it just is really hard to shut down. Like one thing that we've been doing in our recontest is we bring our point team wide and then we wrap behind and then we hit the point. We help kill squad because our kill squad doesn't usually die when our point team dies. It's usually one or the other, and then we'll come wrap the point later. We give percentage rather than like trying to survive as long as possible, I guess. The dropping here is aggressive. If this were supple that we're attacking, they would basically just not be breaking the gate and just be killing people. And then they'd break the gate later, but as long as they're able to live, like, it's fine. The other thing that's just vulnerable to is scorpions. Like, he can get scorpioned off right now, and there's not much you can do.
Healing point death.
I think it's probably better for a lot of people to, like, switch to scorpion when they get to outside phase, and then drop it once they get to inside phase. Like, even on, like, in gate phase in general, and, like, fort in general, like, scorpion sting is really, really good for a lot of builds. For, like, the slot that could run it here, I think point tank can run it in this situation. You don't lose much survivability, but you gain stamina instead of like defensive utility, and stamina keeps you alive. And then you still have the option to make plays. Fat Shinj diff. Looks like a snowball diff right now, but we haven't seen fort yet.
Popping to catch.
And a curio diff. Uh-huh. Oh no, I saw the best healer in NA in my OPR today, and it wasn't curio.
Sacred stubborn.
Hey guys, be ready, don't commit too much on the jump.
I'm ready. I'm just sitting behind you guys. Kachi's sitting behind us.
What? Guess what Giga Chat is unlocking B-Gate? Well, I mean, definitely you, but, like, everyone knows that you're probably the best, like, point player overall across both regions. But that's not, like, much of a debate, because there's not many people that play in both regions.
For a second, tell me if you need me to come back to
Yeah, it's fine. It's only point.
Only Shinj can do that, yeah.
Is it only point or something?
Shinj just walks up the gates and they open for him.
There's one more group, I see.
No, it's coming. Their group is coming up.
Oh yeah, I was doing lots of OPRs last night. I did like 15 OPRs yesterday, 15 to 20, so it was very likely me if it was on East Coast.
B-gate middle.
So this is, now it's starting to get interesting.
Careful. I'm gonna go.
The spot here, the interesting thing will be where does Owen go to cast? They're able to breach this B for free. Like, this is really bad from a defense side. Like, they should not be able to walk in this easily. But Flail kind of counters, like, most of the defensive pressure to a degree right now. I kind of want to, like, look back at that and see, like, how they walked in early. So, I'm trying to see where the Flail is. Do they not even use a Flail? Did they just walk in for free? That's crazy. Why is defense not able to match this? Do they over-rotate? There's like, it's like 15. That should have been able for defense to match this. They also breach in from the side gates for free too. Like, this should not be happening, this should not be happening, this should not be happening. Like, the IGs are kind of losing, like, they're just failing right now to hold the space. Like, one thing that Jordan's been doing, it's like tech, but like kind of off meta, is because you get disrupted so much as an IG right now, and it's hard to drop a shower. If you're a ice gauntlet on gate, you go stone form, and they can drop a shower for free every single time.
Clapping for healing down. Healing down.
Shinj Poskira blowing up E-Gate on 2 regions. I mean, yeah, he just got more practice than everyone else. Lol. How many flex groups are you running at the moment, Shinj? I'm pretty sure they're at like 4. Like, most people run 4. Owen's trying to get on edge. People are dead. It's a little risky. It's not that risky, though. It's a good clap. Oh, and I think you should make a heavy set with refreshing ward and just sit on point. Thoughts? And they can just clap off cooldown. So yeah, this disruption from the heavy players is just like crazy compared to what the NA does. Like, it's just nuts. Like, why is this not a thing in NA? I don't understand. Like, it kind of dies to blunderbuss, but like, it is just so good. And I mean, this is why EU doesn't run Blunderbuss, because like the disruption matters more than actual kills, and it's like very difficult to secure the kills. And if Blunderbuss are only averaging like 5 to 10 kills a war, why even run it at that point? It's just like a better build.
seconds.
Take a break.
Everyone left side.
I got a weird comment after this.
Top right, top right, top right.
Oh my
So this
dead
entire
heals.
time you're not actually able to
Respawn
pop
in
a,
two.
a pot.
God.
Might actually be better to drop one of the pots and then go for like oak or something like that with no animation. Like oak has no animation here. If you pop oak, do you live?
15 seconds.
I don't know, but like that's like an interesting conversation because there's a pot animation for everything else. But there's like nothing you can do here. Like you either have to do this or you have to bring the fight to point. But Flail is
dead
just
no
so
heals.
good with the CC right
Respawn
now
in two.
that it's like very hard to deal with
Top.
that. And it doesn't run a lot of flails, and they don't run
Sacred
SNS
top right.
flail that much for some reason
I am
either.
on point.
Like SNS flail just seems insane to me on paper.
I'm good for now.
Take a break.
I'm gonna run.
I don't see how that's not the default like
Respawn.
disruptor build for most circumstances. BB comms and NA kind of destroy people coming in the backbind with Monkey ult. Yeah. But that being said, you had light BBs from Subble in our backbind that were staying alive for some reason yesterday. Like, I don't know how that was happening, but like that shouldn't be happening, so I feel like someone can figure it out.
Taking a look at this.
But EU definitely doesn't have the same caliber of BBs, and that's like the main difference between the regions. You got EU that's just going heavy
Healing from
disruptor,
above B-gate, by the
3v3
way.
cheese, and
Above
then you
B-gate,
have
safe to
NA
build
that's
from.
like, you know, we just
Healing 0.
use our guns. I blame the NRA. I don't know.
Take a top.
It's just a big point, like, kind of snowball, but I don't even know if it's necessarily from the point
Sacred
group. Like,
bot left.
Owen's entire, like, kind of point group is completely alive. There's just
Silent, okay.
that the quads aren't, like, able to bring it in, and by the time you're having a match point like this, like, you need to wipe it instantly or you lose.
Take a break.
Healing cash.
Yeah, on bottom. He's one shot. Bottom left. Ah, he's full now.
I think healing from up top here is very smart, though. Like, it's not a easily disruptible spot.
Sacred's front right. I'm top right, right.
Killing cost now.
Still leak top right.
They should be able to repel this. Like, they stalled this out long
Healing
enough.
pointer.
Take a break. I'm dead. Can you shot me?
I'm on the upper right side.
I'm dead.
Movement.
Yeah, response 30, response
Shock
30.
on two, shock on two.
Mike.
We're gonna reboot.
I'm going straight to bike lens.
They got the regroup going, so now they actually have a chance to hold.
That first breach was on
Yeah.
That was really good, like, positional wise. Like, the Owen got into an uncontested spot, healer with Onk right now. If you get in an uncontested spot, you're able to, like, hard carry, which is why that heavy disruptors was getting so much value before, because it's shutting down the healers.
Respawning now. Shotting.
When it gets to that point play, I'm gonna heal from above B gate because it's safe, okay? So I'll have less healing in the gate.
Yep, makes complete sense. Counters the way that the disruptors are playing versus you.
Just help the sides if you need in the downtime.
The only other spot you could, like, potentially play is, like, on boxes, because it messes with LLS or, like, here, or, like, on the cart back there. But all those are, like,
Healing down.
inferior to just playing up top.
Take a break.
Healing Lingding. Your clap.
Chilling for the
Think,
back.
think.
Stop dying when they breach on B.
I'm playing backward now.
Help on left side, left side, left side.
Not right now.
Take
I'm
it.
curious how much a featherweight has kept you alive versus, like, going for, like, a nipple coat and then spamming more claps.
Clapping.
Why are they able to walk in for brute to B again? This doesn't make any sense.
Take it.
Like, what happened here? Like, there's just a void. Like, why is this lane completely free? Like, it's just, like, asking for people to get on the point, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, there should be an IGVG, like, basically here all the time. That being said, there's only usually one IGVG right now, but that one should be dropping showers there. The shot caller should be here with their ice showers, and that's, like, the two that you mostly have. As long as they time it right, like, they shouldn't be able to do a free breach. Their SNS should be able to drop an ice shower here. They should definitely be on SNS IG if they're not on SNS IG and Fort. That just doesn't make much sense. I didn't change gear score, so, or greatsword, so when I died my physical armor is reduced to match my magic or gear set. Oh yeah. I don't know if that's an actual bug or if it's a visual bug. That's something that I've been, like, kind of confused about, but
I'm playing backward now.
it's supposed to be fixed soon.
Sacred top left. Your clap.
Alright, Curio, there is no one on you right now. There are two people in that B choke, and they're not on blunderbuss. You are safe and sound.
Yap, top left.
There is
Close.
no stop.
I'm playing bottom right this time.
You can die, you can
Stay
die.
on Yabba, stay on Yabba, stay on Yabba, stay on Yabba.
I'm healing them.
He's booty back.
Big with bottom of point. Healing point dead.
This is the fight that like basically decides like who wins like down here. Whoever wins this wins. And if it stalemates, it favors the attackers. It used to favor the defenders, but if it stalemates on point, usually they're able to get something going on the sides. They lost again, they're doing another regroup.
Clapping bird.
These are really aggressive regroups from Mango.
Secret.
The entire group died on nothing.
Maybe it's just a visual thing though, that 10% con bonus from at. Yeah, you could tell from that.
Bruiser behind you guys, watch
I could
out.
probably look at your health at the beginning of the VOD, and then like right now we're at 22335, or where we're at. Let me figure this out real quick. So we're at 3249, you're at, do you have enough pixels? This is 2365. If we go at the beginning of the VOD, you're at 2365, so yeah, it's just visual. It's not actually affecting anything. I forget where we were. Probably should have typed that down.
You have clap?
But I think it's like around here.
Stop dying when they reach on B.
Help on left side, left side.
You can tell really easily from a flail too, because flails have a bonus that increases their armor, so if your health, max health goes down from the beginning to like a random point in the VOD, then you can tell. But I'm pretty sure it's visual.
Yap, top left.
There is
Close.
no stop.
I'm playing bottom right this time.
You can die, you
Stay
can
on
die.
Yabba, stay on Yabba, stay on Yabba.
This has been happening a lot though. Oh shit, wrong button, sorry. But there's a lot of like 50-50s that have been going on point, and it's basically just whoever has more Dedos wins those. It seems like it's like been kind of hard to live, even with SNS plus Flail Fortify. It's like somewhat hard to live. I might actually go back to running like the tether perk on Flail, just because it will make it a little bit easier for people to
Bottom
live.
point. Healing point dead.
Revolt on left side. Nice, he's
You have
dead.
We're at 12? Okay.
You have clap?
Secret bird.
Sacred top point.
Now we're a little bit before 12.
Killing bird.
Top left, top left, top left, top left. Re-engage.
Let me just start from here.
Healing catch.
Clapping.
You have clap flame down.
Stun.
Secret bird.
You're lucky you didn't have the amulet artifact on. If you had the amulet artifact, you're dead there. I swear that amulet artifact's so troll, especially versus healers. Like a 6-second stun, it's like, oh my god.
Bottom right.
Secret bird. Clapping.
What Winston rune are they running? I don't know.
Secret bird.
Move to the bottom right.
Yeah, bottom right. Sacred
Owen or
bot
Curio,
left,
do you know
bot
what
left side.
Winston rune's being run, or like the
Clapping.
monkey ult?
I'm dead.
Top right, top right, top right.
Secret bird. Killing
Right
pasta.
side,
I
had like everyone.
No, they just hard won the point here.
How much?
Like off this crash. This is probably the war.
Sacred right side point.
It's just ticking so fast. It's stabilized at 75%, but they should be stabilizing at like 50.
Killing bird.
I'm gonna grab them.
Owen's doing a good job at like rotating consistently, but now it's over. Like they're on Owen. Owen can't position to be up top.
Healing point there. I'm getting on point. I'm on point. A full stack. Full stack.
I'm dead.
I'm fucking dead.
You can't do anything.
GG's guys.
My
Top right.
Like,
Sacred top point.
why is this a wipe? It's the question. And I don't think point team wiped. I think it was quads wiped.
You know.
Like it looks like C got blown up and then they just brought it to point. Like if Owen's in point team didn't die at all.
secret bird. Clapping.
It's just quads got blown up. Maybe kill squad loss. And they lost top control, so the healers can't cast up here. They can't cast below. Like your only spot available to cast from is on boxes, which is where Owen is.
Yeah, bottom right. Sacred bot left.
Like,
Or top
the
left,
last
sorry.
one player off the disruption,
Don't die again.
and then that's basically it.
I'm dead.
Top right, top right,
He has to
top right.
move off boxes because fire staff counters that spot. He tries to go up top, he realizes he's marked, and then he has to come back.
How much?
Which bottom right? Mediums on, mediums on, mediums on.
Yeah,
Bottom right is fine.
they're just
Sacred right
controlling the
side
whole map.
Top right.
Stun.
There's like nothing you can do here from a healer perspective.
Killing bird.
I'm gonna grab.
Like the only spot you could have gone that could have been slightly different is like instead of like stacking here, you could have gone to this island and healed from up here because it's like not easy rotate to like walk all the way around just for one healer, assuming that you don't get scorpioned. But there's nothing you can do.
Sacred bird.
I guess looks like it was lost off quads / Dex fight. Like it looks like back gate got in like relatively easily, the side gates got in relatively easily.
Killing bird.
Running top right.
Trapping.
You know.
Let's try to back up to see like that actual breach. Did they just push B?
Guys, watch out.
Cleanse now and get on.
So like you see two people get in over here for free on red, then those guys are bringing it to point. And then there's two people over here that are free and they're bringing it to point. And then there's a big push through main. And I don't know what's happened behind. So disruptors are all on heavy. Yeah, it makes sense to run heavy for it in a war setup because the monkey ult doesn't scale off of whatever attributes you have, like the damage wise and the disruption.
Healing cast.
So it just makes sense to run those in heavy, just make them as tanky as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, A and C got hard rolled and back gate got hard rolled, so it looks like they overloaded B, B's overloaded, and then A maybe didn't directly lose, but they walked through A for free. It looks like they walked through C for free. Basically, it looks like they didn't get value out of their ice showers, or like the IGVGs like kind of failed. I don't know if
Trapping.
You know.
Mango is running a lot of flails still. Like if they're running flail VG instead of IGVG, this is one of the problems with that.
Sacred bird. Trapping.
If they're running flail VG, they need to like reactively like, or even if they're running IGVG, you need to be able to reactively deny the cleanse either with orb or with oblivion by reading the animation from the flail. Otherwise, they could just walk in for free. But it looks like they've just walked in and there's just not pressure.
To the bottom right.
Yeah, bottom right.
Sacred bot left. Or top left, sorry.
Trapping.
The grit one from Shinj? Okay.
I'm dead.
Top right,
I'm
top
gonna look that up in a second.
I had like 51. Killing bird. 30 seconds. Killing bird. How much?
Which bottom right? Mediums
I
on.
mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying, SLB. Like, I think the stun is just better.
Top right.
Stun.
Like, you don't run Onk for those slots, you go for the literally is a 6-second stun,
I'm gonna grab.
and then it just takes the healer out of the game.
Trapping.
The con is if someone else hits them, they'll be woken up. But like, if you like, imagine Owen gets stunned here for 6 seconds, this entire point team just
I'm
dies.
getting on point. I'm on point. A full stack. Full stack.
I'm dead.
Not that it matters, but no.
GG's, guys.
I don't know if Flail runs Warhammer flails at all either, or if EU is running Warhammer flail, but that seems to like help a little bit with some of that stuff. It won't help a ton versus grit though. It's like something you have to read.